one way or another.
And you say most of your life, even as a child, you had paranormal experiences pretty much like everybody else, right?
I did, and a lot of mine, I considered spiritual experiences, and it would just, Lord, it would take so long to go into a lot of them, because they have been many through the years. And of course, it's been I'll say this, it's been an ongoing education for me. I was raised in a very strict religious background to where either it was an angelic visitation, a demonic visitation, there was nothing in between. And I no longer hold to that. I mean, I kind of started questioning a lot of my upbringing with that regard. And of course, I still have a lot of questions, and that's why I do what I do, because I do have questions. The church that I grew up in, you wouldn't talk about residual haunting. They didn't understand it. I mean, now as we know it, a residual haunting is nothing more than a scientific event that we're still working to try to explain. But I do classify that more as a physical science event than a spiritual event. Not too long ago, we've been in our current house now. We moved in this past July was a year ago. We got through building and moved in. The house we lived in prior to that, my wife and I had been there for 25 years. And we were packing, getting ready to move out. I was coming out of one room. She was coming out of another room. The living room was between us. And I heard her call my name. I said, "What?" And she said, "I heard that also, but I did not call you." She heard her own voice. And I believe that was a residual thing. We had been in that house for so many years, and for whatever reason, it seems like these residual things can be very arbitrary. She heard her own voice, and I heard it, but she had not called me. Now, for someone who did not know how to classify that, it could be quite unnerving, downright scary.
Sure.
But I believe that was residual. And I believe that what, a lot of people are classifying as a haunting in reality is not a haunting at all. It's a residual manifestation of energy, a physical sign thing.
It's a mark in history.
Exactly. And, we really don't know, science really doesn't know how to retrieve it, on command. I don't think they've really explained how it happens, but experiencing it firsthand, I have to believe it.
I agree. That's actually, once you experience it, it's an awesome event. Sure, I could see where on some events might scare somebody or say, "Oh my God, I got a ghost in my house" or something. But those events are recorded on the land, in structures, however it may occur. And it's kind of like a negative, I believe, that, it's just burned in. And when things happen over and over and over, it kind of becomes a cycle, and it's just an automatic thing. It's going to happen whether you're there or not, or whether there's an EVP recorder there or not. So,
absolutely.
This kind of goes back to that. If a tree falls in the woods, does it make any sound?
Right.
So surely we're in the woods, a tree falls, we duck, and we hear it. And here lately we've had a lot of trees to fall. But so the same way goes with that. If you're not there to experience it, does it happen? Yes.
Absolutely.
So, right.
I believe it.
And I kind of grew up in a church that, and I'm not going to say the denomination, but it was either demon or angels, angelic, as you say. And
right.
Most of the time, if you don't have a word from God, they said it was demon. It was demonic, that you needed to run away from it and leave it alone, and so on and so forth.
Well, and here's another thing that I've come to realize also. The word tells us that we're compassed round about by so great a cloud of witnesses. Mm. Now, who would those witnesses be? The only logical explanation to that is those who have gone on before us.
Right.
So I believe that there are times, there are occasions when we do receive visitations. And in those times, I believe that they are constructive, they're comforting.
Their message, they're trying to get a message or a warning.
Yeah, they're a message or they're a warning. And it would take too long to go into the justification behind that. And I believe we could get into a very deep religious conversation about that. But I do believe that we have visitations from those who have gone on before. I believe in angelic visitations. I have seen that. I have witnessed that. Now, as far as human hauntings go, I'll speak for me personally. I have a lot of questions about that. I'm not sure. As far as a person getting lost between here and wherever they're going, I don't know. Again, that could be a very long conversation. And of course, then the obvious is the demonic. So, either it's an angelic visitation or it's I'll put it as other visitation, a heavenly visitation by a loved one or whatever, or it's demonic or residual. And as far as human hauntings go, like I said, that's why we do what we do. We're right. Trying to find answers. And I will be the first to tell you that I do not proclaim to have all the answers. I do know this, the people that we have talked to and we have visited and done investigations, the very ones that the church has disallowed. And I do believe that there is great validity in what we do as far as reaching those people.
Right. And like I said earlier, I think that's why we're put in this position. So we can comfort those people.
Absolutely.
And now I can say that as far as demonic, I can't say that I've ever had an angelic experience. Excuse me. But I have demonic. Excuse me, guys. But and that would take way too long. But so, Greg, tell us how long you've been doing demonology.
Since my teenage years. I'm 56, 57. I don't know. I don't keep up with it.
He's 56.
56. But since my teenage years, that has been something that I have studied and experienced and witnessed many, many times over. and it's not something that you really get used to. And I'm glad that I've never had to face anything like that alone. And when I say alone, the Holy Spirit's always been there. And I believe that every child of God has been given authority. And I believe that sometimes folks need help. People don't understand the authority that they have been given. So there's hope. That's the message. There is great hope. I think that one of the things that folks need to understand, that the modus operandi, if I can put it that way, is steal, kill, destroy. That is what they do. Steal, kill. They steal peace of mind. They steal rest. They steal peace in the home. Everything that's good, they try to vanquish from a home. And sometimes folks just need somebody to step in beside them, come alongside of them, and give them some help.
Sure. Encouragement goes a long way.
Absolutely.
Yep. We have another question in the chat room, or a little bit of an experience. We'll save that here in just a little bit. I wanted to talk with Jonathan. Jonathan, are you there?
I'm here.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am blessed. Thank you. So, Jonathan, how long have you been doing this? Have you been part of the team for a very long time, or are you new to it, or how's that?
I'm new to it. I've been with the team about 7 months, I would say.
7 months. Well, so you've had paranormal experiences prior to being on the team, though. Is that right?
The only experience I had, I was probably 9 or 10 years old. When my grandfather had passed away. Anyway, I ended up seeing what I felt. I saw his spirit in the house. After, like I said, after he had passed, and after that incident, it always infatuated me, and always wanted to learn and know more. And I never, didn't pursue it, of course, until I, got older. And met Sarah about 7 months ago, and found out what she did, and inquired and asked questions, and here I
am. Awesome. So how many investigations have you been on?
Oh, about 4 or 5.
5.
Maybe 5,
so
6.
Have you learned anything?
I'm still learning. I'm constantly learning.
We all are.
Oh, absolutely. I've been doing this for a while, and I learn every time I either talk to somebody about, just talking to you guys, I'm learning. So this looks like something that you want to continue to do. Is that right? Hello? Are you guys there? Hello? Did we lose you guys? Okay. Well, guys, we're gonna work on getting them back. Meanwhile, I'm gonna play you a little bit of music. So, but thanks for listening to Wiregrass Haunts. Just y'all just hang tight, listen to some music, and we'll be back shortly.